Hello and welcome to the endocrine system, part 3. In this video, we will be discussing the adrenal glands, the thymus, and the pancreas. So first we're going to talk about the adrenal glands. So the adrenal glands sit directly on top of the kidneys, as you can see in the diagram, and have two layers, the adrenal cortex and the adrenal medulla. The adrenal cortex lies outside and the medulla lies inside. So the adrenal glands control the body's rush of adrenaline or adrenaline rush in times of danger when the body undergoes the sympathetic nervous system. So first, the adrenal cortex produces hormones that aid in things like metabolism. And metabolism is the body's mechanism for extracting nutrients from the food we eat. And it has two hormones that it produces, cortisone and cortisol, and these hormones are produced to regulate the blood sugar levels within the body. Additionally, the adrenal cortex maintains blood pressure and electrolyte concentration. And so it's important to understand that all systems in the body go hand in hand with other systems. So we know from earlier that the endocrine system goes hand in hand with the nervous system and also the reproductive system. As you can see here, the adrenal cortex produces testosterone, estrogen, and progestin to develop maturation characteristics or to help the body achieve maturation and growth and development. This is also known as puberty. So testosterone, estrogen, and progestin are the reproductive hormones. Testosterone is for primarily males, and estrogen is for females. Or estrogen and progestin are for females. Then we have the adrenal medulla, which releases norepinephrine and epinephrine during the stressful times. And again, this also contributes to the adrenaline rush. Next, we're going to talk about the thymus. The thymus, as you can see in the diagram, is located in the chest beneath the sternum. Now, the sternum is a bone in the chest. So the thymus produces cells called T cells, which aid in the immune response of the body, or immunity. And like all glands, the thymus secretes thymosin, which aids the immune cells in reaching their growth and development and maturation. As a side note, as a person grows older, their thymus decreases in size. When a person reaches puberty, it's almost directly shrinked. Now we're going to talk about the pancreas. Now, as we said, the endocrine system works hand in hand with a lot of other systems. So the pancreas is a part of the digestive system and the endocrine system. So in the digestive system, the pancreas produces digestive juices to aid in the breaking down of food or chemical digestion. Now, if you go back to the first video for the endocrine system, we have things called exocrine and endocrine glands. Endocrine glands secrete hormones directly into the bloodstream, and exocrine glands secrete hormones through a duct. Now, the pancreas is both an endocrine and exocrine gland, as it has a duct and produces hormones directly into the bloodstream. Now, the pancreas contains these cells called the islets of Langerhans, and these cells basically carry out the main functions of the pancreas. And there are two groups of these cells, alpha and beta cells. Alpha cells produce glucagon to increase glucose levels, while beta cells produce insulin to lower glucose levels. So high glucose levels are called hyperglycemia, and low glucose levels are called hypoglycemia. Question time. So question 1 says, what kind of cells does the thymus produce? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. If you said B, T cells, you are correct. So A, C, and D say alpha cells, beta cells, and islets of Langerhans. So these are all parts of the pancreas, which obviously isn't the thymus. As we said earlier, the alpha cells and beta cells are individual groups of the islets of Langerhans, and the alpha cells produce glucagon to increase blood sugar levels, and the beta cells produce insulin to decrease blood sugar levels. And the islets of Langerhans are basically cells that carry out the pancreas functions. And the alpha and beta cells are the two groups in the islets of Langerhans. So those are part of the pancreas, which is not the answer. And we have T cells, which is part of the body's immune response, and which is produced by the thymus. So the T cells is the answer. Next question. Question 2 says, which of the following is the adrenal glands responsible for? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. If you said adrenaline rush, you are correct. So B, C, and D say digestion, filtering of blood, and elimination. So digestion would not be it because this is part of the digestive system, which is obviously not the endocrine system, although they go hand in hand. Digestion is not a function of the adrenal glands. Next we have filtering of blood. This would kind of be a distractor because the adrenal glands lie directly above the kidneys, and the kidneys aid in blood filtering, which we'll learn about more in the urinary system. So that wouldn't be the answer. And then we have elimination, which is also a part of the urinary system, but does not go with the adrenal glands' functions. So the adrenal glands produce things like cortisone and cortisol to aid in adrenaline, or when the body goes into the sympathetic nervous system. So the adrenaline rush is the answer. Last question. In which organ is insulin made? I'll give you 5 seconds. If you said pancreas, you are correct. So the hypothalamus, liver, and kidney would not be it because the hypothalamus is a part of the endocrine system but controls the glands to produce the hormones, which is not directly in charge of insulin, so that wouldn't be correct. Then we have the liver, which is not correct. Insulin is not made in the liver, although it is a digestive organ. And then we have the kidney, which again produces or is part of filtering blood, which is not insulin. But then we have the pancreas, which has the beta cells which produce insulin to decrease blood sugar levels. So pancreas would be the answer. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.